Match week 21 of MLS NEXT Pro lands in the scenic city of Chattanooga, Tennessee, as Chattanooga FC hosts Toronto FC 2 from Finley Stadium. Welcome in. I'm Josh Toll. Toronto coming from behind in their win against Columbus Crew 2, a 2-1 victory, which snapped a 4-game winless streak. A win tonight, they would move up to 7th in the Eastern Conference standings. Chattanooga had a hot start to start the season, winning 8 of their first 11 games, but have fallen on hard times, winless in their last 8 games. This is the second meeting of the season between these two teams. In the first meeting up in Toronto, it was Chattanooga getting the victory by a score of 2-1. Our starting 11 will begin with Chattanooga FC and Chris Nugent. He will have his club in a 4-3-3. 2 changes from the loss against Crown Legacy. Back in the starting 11, Nick Mendonça as well as Marcus Nagelstad. Marcus Nagelstad, the all-time leading goal scorer for Chattanooga FC. The 33-year-old also brings a veteran presence up front as he pairs with Colin Thomas as well as Jalen James. Eldin Jakupovic once again getting the start between the sticks. 5 clean sheets on the season, which is tied for first best in MLS NEXT Pro. He's tied with Adis Di Rosario of Toronto on the other side. Toronto FC, Gianni Cimini, he will have his club in a 3-5-2. 7 changes from that win against Columbus. In the win, you had Nathaniel Edwards, the game-winning goal scorer. He'll get the start once again here today. Jamari Nolan also up front, the young 15-year-old. The last time these two teams met, he had the lone goal for Toronto FC. Marcus Simmermancic down from the first team with the second team, as well as Lazar Stefanovic. For Stefanovic, it's his second game of the season with Toronto FC 2. That last game he played in, the very opener of this season in MLS NEXT Pro versus FC Cincinnati. Gianni Cimini changing things up, giving some players some reps. Our match officials, our head referee, Bowen Taylor, our first assistant, Nick Liotte, our second assistant, Ben Collier, and our fourth official, Dorian Del Toro. Chattanooga FC in the blue tops with the light blue shorts. Toronto FC in the all-white kits. The final meeting of the season between these two clubs. Toronto has never won against Chattanooga FC. A chance to change that on the road. And we are underway from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Great matchup between these two sides. Chattanooga FC with 8 wins on the season. They currently sit 5th in the standings. Even with their struggles over the last 8 games due to the hot start, they're still right up the top of the Eastern Conference standings. A win for them today, they would move up to 3rd in the Eastern Conference standings. Meanwhile, a win for Toronto FC, they would move up to 7th in the standings, as Stojadinovic will play this back to Reed Fisher. Olguin will play it out wide. Olguin getting the start. Did not start last week in that win against Columbus. For Toronto, their first chance for back-to-back wins since the end of June. At the end of June, they defeated Inter Miami and closed out the month with a win against Orlando City B. Gianni Cimini has to be thrilled with his team's come-from-behind win against Columbus Crew 2. Always talking about the process, playing with a purpose, as Di Rosario will play this direct. Going over the top, was looking for Nathaniel Edwards, but right there to head it away was Nathan Kohler. For Kohler, getting his 18th start of the season, first year with the club. Great conversation with him, as well as head coach Chris Nugent about this week's game. Chris Nugent talking about this game. They need to get off a fast start, be clinical, need to be consistent when it comes to pressing well and how we build. They want to be able to string it all the way through the game and finish ultimately and score goals. Nathan Kohler repeating that, as well as talking about winning the box game, the defensive box, as well as in the attacking third. Here is Kohler. He'll play it over Freed Sarsar. Sarsar getting the start at center back. We're in the captain's armband once again tonight for Chattanooga FC. On the other side, it's Michael Sullivan, who right now is applying the pressure. Here's Nick Mendonça. Mendonça getting his 12th start of the season. Nagelstad retreating. Sarsar. Kohler over to Garvanyan. Right now, Chattanooga FC, they will play with patience throughout the game. They're a team that doesn't mind controlling the ball, but neither does Toronto. And a giveaway by Chattanooga as this hits off Ayari. Ayari into the assist on the game-winning goal to Nathaniel Edwards. This ball thrown down the field. Toronto will just simply reset as Reed Fisher retreats. Adisa Di Rosario, Eldin Jakupovic, both with 5 clean sheets on the season. That's tied for first best in MLS Next Pro. Both these clubs, the 5 clean sheets on the year. St. Louis City 2 at the top with Philadelphia Union 2. Both have 7 as that hits our referee, so this will be a drop ball. Going back to that game against Crown Legacy for Chattanooga, Chris Nugent talking about how they didn't execute their game plan early, conceded the 2 goals in the first half, but really liked how the team came out in the second half, put ourselves on the attack and put ourselves in good positions, like the way they press, and he wants to see that here again tonight. Start off this first half like they did the second half last week. Sarsar will drop this back. Robertson going up and over for Jalen James, and he will run out of room. Chattanooga FC side winless in their last 8 games, but you go back to last season, they really had a turning point in a game in September against Toronto in a 5-1 win. They can get that turnaround that they need right here if they can get a win at home. Toronto, a chance to string together back-to-back victories as this is played out wide. Garvanyan has a little room to roam. Plays it out into the channel. Here's Colin Thomas. Thomas will play it backwards. Nick Mendonça will switch sides. Sarsar seen in the outside back position as well as a center back position. In the start today, Ethan Dudley started last week at the center back position. Both these goalkeepers competed in goalie wars. Neither one winning the belt. It was Pedro Cruz of Dynamo Dos. Toronto coming in with confidence after the win against Columbus Crew 2, which snapped a 4-game winless streak. Top 8 teams make the playoffs right now. Toronto on the outside looking in, sitting 10th. A win moves them to 7th, but a draw in this game, if they finish with just 1 point, would be level with 3 different teams. Sullivan in the circle. Fisher. Edwards goes inside, gets on the return, good combination play. How about this ball down by Sullivan? But coming over to cut off Sullivan was Nick Mendonça. Great read there by Nick Mendonça to get in front of Michael Sullivan to win the ball back, ultimately get fouled on the play and give Chattanooga a chance. Toronto picking and choosing when they apply the press, trying to force a mistake. Jakupovic. This is where teams, you hear coaches say they want to see their players brave, make the right decisions on their passes out of the back line to evade pressure. Olguin. This ball tapped back by Stojadinovic, and now a foot race. Fisher gets to the ball before Nagelstad could. Olguin will tap it out for Sullivan. Sullivan, that pass chopped out by Garvanyan. Stojadinovic getting his 18th start of the season. Native of Brampton, Ontario. He's been a mainstay this season for Gianni Cimini. He has possession of the ball. Edwards. Olguin. Olguin doing a good job avoiding the pressure of Colin Thomas. Olguin Tried to go up the middle, but good read right there on that interception by Callum Watson. Plays the ball for Jalen James. How about that ball to James? James in the channel. Cuts it across, and a corner coming for Chattanooga FC, the first of the game. Beautiful ball right there by Callum Watson, finding Jalen James. And now a chance here for Chattanooga to bring the bigs up from the back. Sarsar and Kohler coming up. Will take the corner. Callum Watson will be standing near him. Inward swinging ball coming. Mangrove will go short instead. Watson to the top. Robertson. Back post, headed up by Kohler, but right at Di Rosario. Kohler with a good look, and now springing a counter is Di Rosario. Diari was ahead of the pack. Eldin Jakupovic well off his line. And he's going to move up to midfield. Now he's got to hustle and get back. A chance here for Toronto to go over the top. Nolan does try, but 3 players back for Chattanooga FC. Nolan needed that ball in the air. It was a line drive. Nolan did score in the first meeting between these two sides. Plowman as well as Kwok scoring for Chattanooga in the Chattanooga win up in Toronto. Edwards able to keep the ball in play. To his left foot, cuts back to his right. Edwards with a shot, but goes over. Edward doing a good job creating a space for himself to get to his dominant right foot, but unable to get the shot on target, leaning too far backwards. So you want your chest to be over the ball, get that more on the line. Chattanooga mentioned their struggles here in these last 8 games that they're winless. 7 of these last 8 games, they've given up the first goal. One of the big things when they started the season off, they were scoring for 7 of their 8 games won this year. They scored the opening goal. The only game they did not score that opening goal was against Huntsville, but they came back and won that game 2-1. Chris Nugent talking about getting off to that fast start, being clinical in the box and finishing the chances. Talked about data and some of the behaviors that lead to different situations, how good they are in the press. They really like the feedback that they get, but creating chances, and it shows in the metrics. They just need to be able to finish them. Start of the season, putting teams on the back foot, not the case as of recent, but ebbs and flows throughout the season. It's all about how you respond to adversity. They've been close in a majority of these games. So it's just a matter of getting that one confidence-building goal that could change things around for the home side. Chattanooga FC now without Jesus Ibarra. He and the club elected to part ways on Thursday. Ibarra, 8 goals, 4 assists in his 2 seasons with Chattanooga FC. Also had last year's MLS Next Pro Goal of the Year. So another big piece gone now for Chattanooga as they reshuffle things. Fisher. Olgwin pushing the pace. Thomas goes backwards. See Nick McDonsa on top of the ball here. A lot to begin this game for Chattanooga FC. Kohler. 1-2 combination right there as Garbanyan inches forward. Looks to go big with the diagonal ball, but unable to connect with Jalen James. These two squads, two of the better defending teams, they make it tough for opponents to score. Really pride themselves on their defending. Robertson, he's the creator, second in the league in assists. Has 7 assists on the year. Claudio Casano of Chicago Fire now leading with 8. Jakupovic plays it all the way down. Was looking for James. Nolan for Ayari, gets on a return pass. Toronto wanted a foul, didn't get the call. Kohler. Nice ball forward here. Nagelstad looking to capitalize, but sends it wide. Great opportunity there for Marcus Nagelstad. How about that ball from Garbanyan? Nagelstad doing a good job. Stayed onside on the far post, but could not connect. That is one that the striker would like back. The club's all-time leading scorer. Has over 100 appearances with Chattanooga FC. He was with the team in their NISA days, as they are now in MLS NEXT Pro here for their 2nd season. Vibrant Meals provides fresh, good-for-you meals that are healthy, affordable, and accessible. Order meals directly to your door at myvibrantmeals.com or visit their local retail locations. Sullivan, the captain, knocked off the ball by Nick Mendonça. Both sides of the ball, Mendonça being effective here in the first 16 minutes of play. Kohler coming over from Prescott Cables, talked about that. Completely different, more physical and really technical. One of the things that he's been able to adjust to is the physicality, something he's brought. He said it was good to be back over here, but while he was away, he talked about a lot of self-belief that came from that and learning. Mendonça. Teams defensively doing a great job forcing each other wide. Not much to work with inside at the moment for either team. Thomas lost his footing, able to get back on the ball before Edwards. Teams defensively do such a good job in their structure and staying compact. Here's maybe another chance for Nagelstad. Fisher on his back as it rolls in the hands of Di Rosario. Nagelstad, a 33-year-old at Kristianstad, Norway. He's been with the club since 2021. James Watson. Nagelstad loses possession, but a foul called before, and a free kick coming for Chattanooga FC. Robertson pushing his teammates forward. See what kind of delivery he can create. Pinpoint accuracy from the outside back. Watson plays it in. Garvani, nice pass over to Sarsar, but behind him. Right idea right there by Chattanooga, but unable to execute. Garvanian. Edwards doing a good job knocking Garvanian off the ball, but a throw here for Chattanooga FC. Mangrove trying to play it in, but chopped down by the captain, Sullivan. Mangrove. So Yadanovich doing a good job putting the pressure on. He was the first completed incoming international signing in club history, coming over from Essex, England. He'll have a chance here to play the ball in. Long throw here by Watson, headed up by Toronto, but not out of danger. Pinballing around. Chance here off the volley, and stopped by Di Rosario. Kohler getting a good touch to that, but couldn't get it by the keeper of Toronto. Di Rosario came into the game fifth in the league in saves with 48 on the year. Meanwhile, on the other side, Elvin Jakupovic leading the way with 79 on the season. Robertson, Ayari applying the pressure. Toronto at different times, they will go direct, try to get space behind the back line. I love when a team is up near midfield trying to go over the top and create 1v1 opportunities. Toronto playing with the advantage. And then a poor pass right there by Stefan Kapoor. Kapoor had Ayari slowing up his run. Second start of the season for Kapoor, the 16-year-old out of Stony Creek, Ontario. Jamari Nolan up top, the 15-year-old. A couple of teenagers in this game for Toronto FC. Good combination play once again from Chattanooga. James. Deflection right to Di Rosario. On his team, Gianni Chirini talking about developing of these players, really the identification process that goes finding them at a young age, and then ultimately through the academy to MLS Next Pro, and then hopefully to the first team. It really loves when they understand their strengths and try to highlight their abilities as they continue to develop, work on those weaknesses as they progress. Talking about being in alignment with the academy, first team, as well as MLS Next Pro. FC, of course, unique, being one of the two independents with Carolina Core. Kohler, Garvanian. Danza will want to connect, but not on the same page there as Mangarov. Spent 3 years at Virginia before making his way to Chattanooga FC. He's had 6 goals, 4 assists on the season. Mangarov, his last time he scored, you go back 2 games ago against Inter Miami, he had a brace. You can see him a little bit more aggressive in the attacking third. Now for Kapoor. away here by Chattanooga. Edwards. Edwards and company unable to do anything with the possession. Garvanian to Colin Thomas. Mangrove wanting to give the ball over to Garvanian, and a throw once again for Chattanooga FC. This portion of the match is brought to you by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Chattanooga's leading provider of multi-specialty orthopedic care. Watson, another long throw, headed out by Fisher, now sent away by Edwards. Not far enough, Robertson there, deflected, and onto the hilltop, and a corner once again for Chattanooga, their second of the game. Robertson teamed that up off the half volley. Head over to the same corner he had earlier, ultimately went on the ground short to Callum Watson. Another inward swinging ball set up. This time played into the area and punched away by Di Rosario. Iari, Sullivan. Numbers pushing forward for Toronto, and a hard challenge. And great job there by Kohler getting back defensively in the retreat to win the ball back for the home side. Kohler, one of the guys that he patterns his game after Harry Maguire. Of course, a standout for England's national team, as well as Manchester United. So we do have a player down on the ground for Toronto. Great effort there by Kohler getting back. It's the captain, Michael Sullivan, that's on the ground injured. Sullivan, he was the one dribbling forward with the ball on the challenge by Kohler. It was a clean tackle. Sullivan wiping the sweat off as he gathers himself. 39th overall pick out of the University of Pittsburgh. He did have his first team debut earlier this year on June 28th against the Portland Timbers. That's now 2 goals and 1 assist on the season here for the second team. Clean game so far between these two sides. No bookings as of yet. Second and final meeting of the regular season between these sides. Toronto FC falling at home by a score of 2-1 in the first meeting. And tonight would be their first ever win against Chattanooga FC. Toronto on the road this year, 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga at home this season, 4 wins, 2 losses, and 4 draws. Pretty evenly matched right now between the two sides. Set to send it away for Chattanooga FC. 7 clean sheets across all competitions for Eldin Jakupovic. 2 of those come in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. So Sarsar, the captain, will now take this. Mangrove attacking the inline. Back heel, looking for Thomas. Thomas unable to get around Fisher. forward for Nagelstad. Times that Chattanooga FC has gone direct to Marcus Nagelstad. They've had success. Stojanovich. The effort by Thomas staying back in position defensively after putting on the high press. Nolan, the 15-year-old, looking for Simmermansik, but too heavy of a touch. Nolan, one of the young future stars on this side. John Cheney talking about he's got good technical base. Really thrilled to have him there, help shape his future moving forward. A player that's still learning, but trying to give him different things throughout the season. And see how he continues to evolve as this is played forward to Robertson. Stabbed away by Toronto. Ball won back by Callum Watson. Nagelstad. Shot from distance and easily stopped by Di Rosario. Don't mind that effort right there by Mangrove, but just not enough power and pace to get by the keeper of Toronto. Goals this season. This portion of the match is powered by EPB. Jakupovic going over the top, looking for Jalen James, unable to reach him. Nice touch by Stefan Kapoor. Rosario with 3 saves in this game. Jakupovic yet to be tested. James, Nagelstad, back to James. Mangrove, Garvanyan. And a corner here for Chattanooga FC, third of the game. Right now, Chattanooga FC being the more dynamic of the two squads in the attacking third. Draw up here on the corner. Robertson will take it from the near side as we see Mangrove take it from the far side of the field. The service from Robertson. And a throw now for Chattanooga FC. Throw once again from Watson. Headed out, but right to Watson. He'll send it into the mixer. Punched away by Di Rosario, but only as far as Robertson. Robertson, a chance here for James. Back to Robertson. Kohler. Kohler wanted to connect with Sarsar. Also had Garvanyan on the back post. Chattanooga FC showing that they can be dangerous in the attacking third, but they need to find a way to be lethal. Taking his time walking over the ball. He had a good shot earlier that was stopped by Di Rosario. Left-footed ball on the ground to Watson. The return to Mangrove. Trying to avoid pressure. Robertson unable to get by the two defenders. Chipped out wide. Thomas avoiding pressure. Watson back post ball looking for Sarsar. Acrobatics, but right at Di Rosario. What a chance by Garvanyan, and Di Rosario up to the task to make the save. Bicycle opportunity right here for Garvanyan, but right at the keeper and Di Rosario. How about that spacing with Kapoor right on his left shoulder, still able to get off the bicycle try. Mendonca pouncing on the ball. James. Chance here with the left. Oh, just over the crossbar. What an effort by Mangarov. Nick Mendonca doing a great job winning the ball back. James playing it out for Mangarov. Does enough to create space, but just inches over the crossbar, rising. Looking alive in this game here for Chattanooga FC. I have to also appreciate what Nick Mendonca is doing in the midfield. Both sides of the ball, he's been effective. Toronto still looking for their first shot on target. They need to find a way to create an opportunity here in the attacking third, whether it's whipping a ball in here from the outside or finding a way to get down the spine, but they give the ball over once again to Chattanooga FC. Chattanooga FC now slowly gaining control of the possession in this game. Watson, Nagelstad, looping ball, Thomas. Garvanyan takes a deflection and rolls right into the hands of Di Rosario. Ball intent for Nathaniel Edwards, headed up by Garvanyan. Robertson able to track the ball down before it goes across the touchline. This Toronto team, such a good defending team. Really pride themselves on their defense and try to set up that counterattack. Also see Toronto, usually they'll take their chances from distance, yet to do that here this evening. Gorgeous night in the scenic city. Drifts off the banks of the Tennessee River. This ball chopped down by Reed Fisher, nearly went into the path of Nagelstad. Here's Edwards. This ball won by Kohler. Good effort right there by the center back, stepping up to deny Edwards a chance to play the ball out wide. Knowing that he has defenders back, so he's able to step up and try to slow down the attack of Edwards. James fouled on the play. We'll have a free kick here for Chattanooga FC. Sending everyone forward. Had a free kick not too long ago from about the same spot. Went short to Watson, and they do that once again. Robertson on the return to Watson. Robertson inching forward. Now plays the ball into the box. Hit backwards and punched away by Di Rosario. Mendonca Garvanyan. Mangarov on the end line, knocked out of play. Last touch, they're going to say, by Mangarov. Stoyadinovic doing a good job getting on the shoulder right there of Mangarov, making that difficult. Here's the ball in as you see the deflection. Di Rosario with a great read, able to punch the ball away. Di Rosario looking like an outfielder right there, getting a good read on that ball to get back on the back post. Sullivan, the captain. Donsa and Watson almost combined to force the turnover, but Sullivan able to get back on the ball. Olguin in the circle. And Olguin fouled from Mendonça and will have our first card handed out. Clear foul here by Nick Mendonça. Olguin, the player that went down for Toronto FC. Stefanovic to take the free kick. Just the second game for him this year. He's played in 9 though for the first team, making 3 starts. Just 18 years old. He's going to leave this behind for Hassan Ayari. Ayari with an assist in the Columbus game. And the game-winning goal to Edwards. Into the 18-yard box, headed away. So Romancic will play it to Kapoor. Nolan for Sullivan. Unable to get it by Kohler. Kohler doing a good job once again stepping up when that ball's played into the center. Mendonça was looking for Jalen James. To the break. We'll have highlights and stats. We'll also take a look back at MLS Next All-Star Game and Goalie Wars. Salazar, the captain. Robertson offside. Stoyadinovic. Sullivan. Looking for Edwards, foot race, and this will come to Eldin Jakupovic. Garvanyan in good position there on the left hip of Edwards. Saw Toronto last week in the win against Crew 2 go direct and have success. Unable to find that yet here in the first half. Patience here by Chattanooga, and good job defensively by Toronto, not allowing Chattanooga to pick out a player they want to go to direct. Here's Watson though in the midfield. How about this ball? James, an opportunity. Thomas making a run. James with the shot blocked away by Di Rosario. Mangarov blows it. Goes over the crossbar. Had a great chance. Mangarov trailing. Goes for the shot off the volley, but well over. He had a little bit more time all by himself. Elected to take it on the first touch. That's one that he would like to have back, having more time. Didn't need the power that he put behind that shot attempt. On that come in on the volley try. If he probably just brings that down, he's gonna have a good chance to still have an open mouth to work with on the goal. James. Chattanooga by far the better of the two teams here in the first half and creating chances, but yet to get a goal on the scoreboard. Watson, Robertson, plays it into the area. Nagelstad gets the opening goal! And it felt like it was just a matter of time for Chattanooga to get on the scoreboard. And how about the ball in? And Nagelstad, no doubt, puts it through. Beautiful ball by Robertson, his 8th assist of the season. And Nagelstad with his 2nd goal of the year. Nagelstad had a great opportunity earlier in the first half, but sent the shot wide. This time, he connects in the 45th minute. 3 minutes of stoppage time added on to the first half, and Robertson now at the top of the leaderboard once again in assists with 8, matching that total of Claudio Cassano of Chicago Fire. That might be the confidence that Chattanooga FC needs pushing forward into this game. Talked about the success early in the season, winning 7 of their 8 games, scoring the first goal. We'll see if that trend continues here tonight. Let's win the streak here over the course of the last 8 games. They have not scored first in any of those games. One thing that Chris Nugent talked about, getting that first goal, forcing Toronto to play on their heels. Sullivan sent away by Kohler. Mangarov with chances in this first half. Nagelstad with a chance earlier. An opportunity from the center backs in Sarsar and Kohler, but no one able to get anything on frame and pass Di Rosario into that goal by Nagelstad, the team's all-time leading scorer. Little breathing room here before the break for Chattanooga FC. Toronto in this game, they have not been able to control possession like they like. Chattanooga FC doing a good job controlling possession, winning the midfield battle right now as well. Fisher will head this ball up into the air. Watson sends it back. Nagelstad turns. Gravagnan. Sarsar will like to go all the way backwards. And there is the whistle to close out the first half, and Chattanooga FC will go into the locker room up 1-0 thanks to a goal from Marcus Nagelstad coming in the 45th minute, his second goal of the season. Our score at the half is Chattanooga 1, Toronto 0. MLS All-Star Week started with goalie wars, and we rounded out match week 20 with the Next Pro Invitational. Let's look back at the report.
We're coming to you from beautiful sunny Austin, Texas, where MLS Next Pro has seen its biggest impact yet on the MLS All-Star stage. This is the latest edition of the report. I'm Michelle Montaigne alongside April Marie Aguilar. And April Marie, the biggest stars in all of North America have descended here in Austin, Texas for the 2025 MLS All-Star Game, where the 2025 MLS All-Stars face off against the best players from Liga MX.
That's right, Michelle. And for Major League Soccer's 30th season, its developmental league has had more of an influence than ever, with the record 4 MLS Next Pro alumni named to the All-Star roster. The 2025 MLS All-Star Game lit up Q2 Stadium in Austin as the MLS All-Stars took down Liga MX with a 3-1 win in front of over 20,000 fans. MLS Next Pro alumni Alex Freeman, Diego Luna, and Max Arston all made their MLS All-Star debuts in the second half. We caught up with Alex Freeman to get his thoughts on his All-Star debut.
Oh, I feel like, we had a very nice crowd, very nice facility. I feel like it's something that, I got to be grateful for. Being able to step on the pitch in the All-Star game, represent Orlando, something I dreamed of. Obviously I didn't expect it to happen so quick, but I'm very excited, very grateful, like I said. But yeah, good to be able to step in front with a lot of experienced players, so very happy.
It's been quite a year for these MLS Next Pro alumni. Diego Luna and Max Arston have already matched their career highs for goals at the midway point of the season. And Alex Freeman has had a breakout year with 4 goals for Orlando City SC. Patrick Ajamong was named to the All-Stars team, but a week before the game, he was transferred to Derby County of the English Championship. He leaves as the second highest goal scorer in Charlotte FC history. It started as an unconventional competition at the 2001 MLS All-Star Game. And since then, it's become a fan favorite and a staple of All-Star.
This is the 3rd straight year that MLS Next Pro goalkeepers have competed in goalie wars at the MLS All-Star Skills Challenge presented by AT&T. This year, 4 new goalkeepers are competing and vying for this custom-made championship belt. The night began with the semifinal showdown between Houston Dynamo 2's Pedro Cruz and Toronto FC 2's Adisa de Rosario. Cruz wasted no time setting the tone, and it was a Dynamo domination from the get-go. Pedro Cruz would go on to win by 5-1 to move on to the final. On the other side of the bracket, Orlando City B's Carlos Mercado took on Chattanooga FC's Eldin Jakupovic. It was the Orlando keeper who broke the deadlock and sealed his victory in dramatic fashion, scoring the bonus 2-point ball at the buzzer to clinch his spot in the final. So, after a well-earned break, it was Cruz and Mercado vying for the champion belt. Their match ended up being a nail-biter, but it was the Brazilian goalkeeper that came out on top, winning a close final by 4-3.
Yo estoy muy contento con la conquista de hoy, una conquista que yo quería mucho, una conquista muy importante para mí y para mi carrera. Para yo llegar aquí, yo pasé por muchas cosas, yo no pasé por dificultades, pero pasé por grandes aprobaciones de Dios, entonces tienes que seguir firme, tienes que trabajar, porque si tú trabajas, tú vas a llegar. Entonces, es con tiempo.
So, the belt is staying in the Lone Star State. Congratulations to Pedro Cruz on becoming the third Goalie Wars champion since its return, joining Isaac Walker in 2023 and Chituru Odunze just last year.
Kenzie puts it in, and the touch on the far side in the opening goal. Eisenberg comes out wide now. He floats this one and deflected. Second chance, and it's off the keeper.
Yeah, they've definitely settled a little bit. There's another great ball through.
And the opportunity, and it's popped over and in. 1v1 opportunity here for the East. In on goal, and we've got an equalizer. Sullivan steps up, and he slots it home. Gavin Sullivan puts it in the back of the net. The MLS Next MVP and Golden Boot winner. He puts it in the back of the net and seals the victory for the Eastern Conference.
At this time last year, Gavin Sullivan was the MVP of the MLS Next All-Star Game. Since then, he's gone on to history in Major League Soccer. On July 5th, he became the second youngest player ever to start a game.
Yeah, and he really is just a perfect example of how the MLS Next All-Star Game showcases both potential and performance. In fact, of the 44 players selected to this year's All-Star rosters, over half of them either signed a homegrown deal or appeared in MLS Next Pro at some point. The fourth annual MLS Next All-Star Game was a thriller, won by the East All-Stars 4-3. After going into halftime tied at 1, both teams traded goals in the second half, with Prince 4-4 of Columbus Crew 2 putting home a rebound to give the East a 3-2 lead in the 76th minute. Later in the 83rd, Tyler Brown of Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 beat the onrushing goalkeeper to a through ball and walked it in to equalize. The deciding goal came just 2 minutes later on a penalty kick by Philadelphia Union 2's Jameer Johnson. And the king of the All-Star Game was Prince 4-4, who took home the MVP honors.
I mean, I'm really happy right now. I'll say a big shout out to the East team. You know, I think we played really well together. We followed and trusted and did the work, you know, was able to come out with the victory.
And then what does that say just about your teammates and the trust that they have in you to go out there and perform the way that you do?
I mean, it's quite amazing, you know, because these guys we met a couple of days ago, and, you know, it seemed like we really bonded really well and was able to have that great chemistry, so it was great.
And what can we expect from you here and on forward?
I'll say I'll just keep pushing myself, you know, try to break into Crew 2, get more minutes, you know, and just keep pushing myself to the next level.
About 65% of former MLS Next All-Stars have signed professional contracts. Here are some of the more than 30 former All-Stars who have gone on to compete in MLS Next Pro and then Major League Soccer just this season, completing the player pathway. Before we move on to the second half of the season, here's the top goals of the first half.
So now Kidd to Makina. Wow! What a banger! Gabriel Makina with a masterful shot. Out of nothing. Gabriel Makina picks his head up. Canetti. Nziengo. Glory Nziengo. Wow! Oh! Glory Nziengo with the goal. And that breaks the deadlock. behind it. Sarver sends it in. Ball is there. Oh my! An absolute golazo! 1-goal lead. Spectacular.
Colin Welsh getting the start in goal today for St. Louis City 2, his 5th start of 2025 for the rookie out of Western Michigan.
Hernandez has a hit from distance. Are you serious?
Saw the keeper off his line. Welsh hovering around the top of the 18.
Joyner shoots. Whoa! Makai Joyner is out of his mind. Off this first ball, Joyner takes one touch, and with Burns off his line, that's just enough space for a spectacular shot.
This weekend marks the 4th annual MLS Next Pro Invitational and the second matchup between champion and campeón. Last year, 2023 MLS Next Pro champions Austin FC2 defeated Liga Expansión MX champions Cancun FC, becoming the first Next Pro team to beat a team from Mexico. Defending MLS Next Pro champions North Texas SC will look to follow in Austin FC2's footsteps when they take on Club Deportivo Tapatío from Liga Expansión MX. You can catch it all Saturday, July 26th at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central on MLSNextPro.com. Here's what else we're looking forward to. Sunday, October 5th is Decision Day, a full slate of games to determine playoff positioning on the last day of the regular season. That's followed by the 3rd annual Pick Your Opponent, which will determine the playoff matchups for the first 2 rounds. The playoffs themselves, well, those start the weekend of October 17th, culminating with the MLS Next Pro Cup on the weekend of November 7th.
Well, there is still a lot more soccer to be played between now and then, and there was certainly a lot of fun had all throughout the MLS All-Star Week festivities, especially at Goalie Wars.
That's right, Michelle. Let me tell you, it was my first All-Star Week, and it was a memorable one.
I remember my first time, and I'm glad it was so much fun. I'm glad you got to experience it here in my home state of Texas. She felt that Lone Star State hospitality. That will do it, though, for us for this episode of The Report.
That's right. Be sure to tune into the next episode for the latest around MLS Next Pro. We'll catch you guys next time. Adios. They say everything is bigger in Texas, and that in fact is true, my friends, as North Texas SC walks away with the MLS Next Pro Invitational Trophy. I'm April Marie Aguilar. North Texas SC started off hot with Pedrinho scoring a brace in the first 25 minutes of the match. Tapatío responded with a golazo, taking us into the half 2-1. But the match didn't end there. Why? Because in the second half, Tariq Scott iced the game with the 3rd goal for North Texas, securing the Invitational Trophy. We had the opportunity to catch up with the MVP, Pedrinho, after the game.
I work for this. I come to play for this. I was playing for first team and something happened, but I asked if I can play this game because I love play final. And that's it, my work done.
It's a privilege to play against Chivas' second team, Tapatío. It's great for our players, our young players, to continue to grow and show that, you know, America's not afraid of anybody anymore. We can fight, we can compete, we can play, and it's really important for us to play these games. So thanks so much to MLS Next Pro for putting this game on, and obviously congratulations to Tapatío for winning their championship in Mexico. But I think we showed tonight we were the better team.
It's not just about who wears the armband, it's about 11 guys on the field, coming off the bench, whoever it may be. So I'm a leader, but so is everyone else, you know? I'm just fortunate enough to wear the armband.
All right, well, that does it for this year's MLS Next Pro Invitational. I'm April Marie Aguilar. We'll catch you guys next time. Adios.
45 minutes down at Finley Stadium. First half highlights, Chattanooga being the more dominant team on the ball here. Sarsar heading back. How about this bicycle effort by Garvanyan? But Di Rosario seeing that all the way through. James attacking. Another great save by Di Rosario. And then off the volley, that one going over the top by Daniel Mangrove here. How about that strike by Marcus Nagelstad to get the opening goal in the 45th minute. A beautiful ball in. Nagelstad had an opportunity earlier in the first half. This time, no doubt about it, as he strikes first for the home side. It's his second goal of the season for the club's all-time leading goal scorer. First half stats between Chattanooga FC and Toronto. 6 shots on target, just the one for Toronto in the first half. We did have the 1 yellow card handed out to Nick Medanza of Chattanooga. But in that first half, Chattanooga being the more aggressive team, being the more dominant team in possession as well. Toronto FC is going to need to find a way to be more creative and dynamic in the attacking third here in the second half. Upcoming schedule in MLS Next Pro tomorrow. 7 games in total. Chicago Fire 2 hosting Crew 2. That game will kick at 2 p.m. Another top team in the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia Union. They will take on FC Cincinnati. Right now, FC Cincinnati just a spot ahead of Toronto in the Eastern Conference standings. Orlando City B taking on New York City FC 2. Closing out the night will be LAFC 2 hosting the Town. Second half about to kick here at Finley Stadium between Chattanooga FC and Toronto FC. It took 45 minutes for the opening goal, but Marcus Nagelstad gave the home side a 1-0 lead. Nagelstad and company will begin with the ball here in the second half. Just waiting a whistle from Bowen Taylor, and we are underway once again from Finley Stadium. Josh Toll, thrilled you can join us here for this game in this Eastern Conference matchup between these two sides. A win for Chattanooga FC. They would snap an 8-game winless streak. Meanwhile, if Toronto's able to get back into this game, it would be their first back-to-back wins since the end of June. It would also give them a chance to be in the 7th spot in the Eastern Conference standings. The top 8 teams make the Eastern Conference playoffs. The top 4 teams will host a home game. Lots riding on the line here as we near the end of the season, past the halfway mark now. Robertson chipping it forward. Nagelstad will play it back to Mangrove. Garvanyan has Thomas out to his left. That's where he goes. Pass into the channel, but well covered by Stojadinovic. Fisher. Stefanovic going up the gut. Ball nearly won back by Chattanooga FC. Simmermancic was looking ahead for Hassan Ayari. Jakupovic once again will bring the ball out. We saw him do this in the first half as this goes over the line. And Kapoor needs to play this in quickly, but a smart veteran play there by Jakupovic. Playing another ball in. He's going to get a yellow card, but if he doesn't play that ball in, Toronto's going to have a great chance on a chip shot over. That is just a heads-up play right there by the veteran keeper and Eldin Jakupovic. Wealth of experience for Jakupovic. Here maybe a chance for Simmermancic. Want to drop the ball off to Ayari. Kapoor. Stojadinovic. Fisher. Back to Stojadinovic. Ayari. Quiet first half for Ayari. Really a quiet first half for the attacking unit of Toronto. I have to think here in the second half, the first 15 minutes, they're going to try to come out and be the aggressor. Heavy touch by Mangrove as this will roll out of play. Mentioned the success on the season for Chattanooga when they score first. 7 of their 8 games they've won this year, they scored the opening goal. The one time they did not do that was against Huntsville City. You have to wonder if that track record will continue here today against Toronto. So good playing with the lead, defending. Simmermancic and company hoping to change that. Edwards to the left. Want to slip it through to Simmermansik. Edwards scoring the game-winning goal last week against Crew 2. Nolan, opportunity here, chipped up and in for the open goal for Toronto. And just like that, Toronto's back in it. Marcus Simmermansik gets on the score sheet first for Toronto FC, his first goal of the season. Good action right there between Toronto. Edwards to Nolan to Simmermansik, and he gets it past Jakupovic. Great response there out of the break for Toronto. They've just stolen the rhythm and the momentum of the game. Simmermansik getting his third start here with the second team. He's playing 4 games, making 3 starts with the first team this season for Toronto FC. Simmermansik, another youngster, just 20 years old for Toronto. Could give the confidence that Toronto needs in terms of possessing the ball and be more effective now in the attacking third. They just had 1 shot on target in the first half, and it was a poor one at that. Robertson with the assist on the opening goal. Zarsar for Kohler. Kohler will send it down with the left foot. Simmermansik, the goal scorer, will play it all the way back to Di Rosario. Stefanovic striding forward. Ayari. Sullivan trying to find some gaps in the defense of Chattanooga. Danza down the line. Nagelstad, the goal scorer, drops it back. James, long distance from Robertson, this time unable to connect. He had a goal in the loss last week in the 79th minute from long range. That time not able to get it on frame. James doing a good job dropping his back for Robertson. Far post, unable to get it. Di Rosario under pressure. Kapoor, early ball in. Kohler there to head it back to Jakupovic. 31 goals now on the season for Chattanooga, with the opening goal in the first half by Nagelstad. Toronto FC with that goal from Simmermansik, they now scored 23 times on the year. Much more rely on their defending. Chattanooga, they can score. They've given up goals as well. 29 they've allowed on the season, now make it 30. Defeated Chattanooga FC in their 3 meetings, 2 losses and 1 draw. James trying to bring it back to his right foot. James losing his balance. Nagelstad got a piece of that ball. Ogwen. Simmermansik. Here's Ayari. was Nick McDonsa forcing the mistake. Thomas on the edge of the area, plays in an early ball, and we'll have a corner here for Chattanooga FC. Tate Robertson will head over the far side of the field for Chattanooga FC. Corner of the game here for Chattanooga. Inward swinging ball into the heart of the box, and it up by Simmer-Mancic and grabbed out of the air by Di Rosario. Good ball in there by Robinson. Nearly reached Kohler. Good defending there by Simmer-Mancic on the man marking. Simmer-Mancic also being a taller body. Well lined up, well marked with the taller Kohler. Sullivan, the captain, down the line. Olgwin. Simmer-Mancic. Ayari, he can bend a ball. Ayari curling, but off target. Ball deflected, and it'll be a corner now for Toronto. First corner of the game here coming for the visitors. Set that up, but he hit off the defender. And now a chance here for Ayari and company. Toronto last week, he come from behind win against Crew 2. Trying to make it 2 games in a row. Ball played in, back post to Fisher. Heads it up. Jakupovic grabs it at the crossbar. James now on the left wing. Little step over and gives the ball away. Vibrant Meals provides fresh, good-for-you meals that are healthy, affordable, and accessible. Order meals directly to your door at myvibrantmeals.com or visit their local retail locations. Jakupovic. Robertson. Avoiding Kapoor. Nagelstad, nice ball for Jalen James. James in the channel. James slots it across. Robertson, back post ball. Garvanian unable to get his head to it. The idea right there with Robertson. Robertson frustrated with himself, too heavy of a touch on that pass to the back post. And now we'll have our first sub of the game, and it'll be the 18-year-old Darwin Ortiz coming on for Daniel Mangarov. So Mangarov will lead. He was very effective in the opening half of play. And he'll lead the 18-year-old on. 5th appearance of the season for Ortiz in his first year with Chattanooga FC. Comes from Santa Rosa de Capon, Honduras. Did come up in the MLS Next system with the Southern Soccer Academy. Who selected the MLS Next Best match, MLS Next Cup Showcase back in 2022. Probably has familiarity with some of these different players on Toronto as well. Olgwin, big diagonal ball. Edwards. Stojadinovic, just on the edge of the area. Simmer-Mancic. Edwards. Olgwin. Fisher avoiding Nagelstad, and he goes tumbling down. We'll have a free kick from the push behind by Nagelstad. Opportunity here on a set piece for Toronto. Both goals for Toronto last week also coming in the second half. First goal was an own goal, but it was caused by an Anthony Bossenberry shot that hit off the crossbar. Ultimately hit off Rogers' a crew to and went in. Second goal was a no-downer by Nathaniel Edwards to close out the game. Ayari. Back post, beautiful ball, head away by Kohler. How about that effort? Stefanovic trying to play it across the goal mouth. Beautiful ball by Ayari. Stefanovic had two runners going right down the middle, Kapoor as well as Simmermansing. If Kohler doesn't get to that ball, one of those players is going to have a great chance for a goal. Right-footed ball into the heart of the box. Headed by Fisher and sent away by Garvanyan. And Fisher will let this roll out for a Toronto corner. 5 games in total today. Huntsville with a 4-0 win on the road against Crown Legacy. Legacy spots up on Toronto in the standings in that 8th and final playoff position. This ball on the ground. Stojadinovic, left-footed ball, and stopped by Jakupovic on the near post. A chance here to spring a counter, and he'll try to. Kapoor into the area. Olgwen for Kapoor. Stefanovic. Try to slip the ball. Ayari the shot, but right at Jakupovic as he punches it away. Toronto being the dangerous of the two teams here in the second half. As this ball sent in by Kapoor, headed up by Sarsar. Much different looking team here in the second half for Toronto than what we saw in the first 45 minutes of play. Gianni Cimini must have said a few words to help motivate his team here to come out flying in the second half. Ayari. Stojadinovic. Kapoor. Compact shape right now by Chattanooga as they win the ball back. James. James gives the ball up. Ayari. A chance here, gets it on his right foot for Sullivan. Edwards. Edwards plays the ball in, and no one there on the top of the 6-yard box for Toronto. This ball cleared only as far as Stojadinovic. A chance here, Simmermansik. Jakupovic right now, the player down for Chattanooga FC. Jakupovic, the player being looked at. That's the last thing that you want to see is your keeper down. If it's nothing serious for Jakupovic. goal in this game, has played every minute of the season. Goalie wars. So did Adisa Rosario of Toronto. Yakupovic, though, able to get up under his own power. Able to jog off, so it looks like nothing serious, so that's great to see as he gives a thumbs up. Shot in, and maybe that's where Yakupovic may have been hurt. But here another opportunity from Toronto. Stefanovic trying to slip the ball to Ayari, but shot right at Yakupovic. Subs come on for both sides. So Patrick McDonald's going to come on for Stefan Kapoor. And then we'll have 2 subs for Chattanooga FC. Keegan Anslin will come in for Marcus Nagelstad, the goal scorer. Nagelstad scoring in the 45th minute, his 2nd goal of the season. Xavier Rimpel will also come in for Colin Thomas. So 3 subs in total now have been used by Chattanooga. Just Patrick McDonald at the moment for Toronto FC. This portion of the match is brought to you by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Chattanooga's leading provider of multi-specialty orthopedic care. Keegan Anslin coming in as a sub last week against Crown Legacy. Anslin now with 17 appearances on the season. He does have 3 goals on the year. He actually played under former Chattanooga coach Bill Elliott, was at college at the University of West Florida. So some familiar ties. Robertson's trying to spin away from danger, unable to get by Patrick McDonald, who just subbed in. Anslin, the intended target, gets the ball before Fisher. Fisher did a good job shouldering Anslin away. An offside flag was up against Anslin, and a little pushing and shoving. Anslin bringing some fire to Chattanooga here. He's just making his 3rd appearance of the season. Traveling with the team for 2 weeks before signing back on July 8th. The 22-year-old out of Ajax, Ontario. Yakupovic. Also with a very heads-up play earlier in this half. He was moving forward, the ball in possession. Ultimately, the ball went over the line. He played a 2nd ball in. As this ball slipped forward for Ortiz. Hard challenge by Di Rosario. He got the ball, though. That was well played by the keeper of Toronto. And then at last touch off Ortiz. As Ortiz going to the ground. He got the worst of that, too. That play by Yakupovic, plays a 2nd ball in, not allowing Toronto to have a chance to chip the ball over, as Yakupovic was well off his line. Otherwise, this game could be 2-1 in favor of Toronto. Olguin under some pressure. McDonald. Good job there by Toronto, breaking the line. Sullivan looking for Edwards. Garvanyan, and sent away now by Jakupovic. Just joined us, Marcos Nagelstad scoring in the 45th minute for Chattanooga FC. In the second half, Marcus Zimmermansik getting his first goal of the season for Toronto in the 49th minute. First meeting between these two in York, Ontario saw the visitors get the win by a score of 2-1. Rosario going over the top. Wanted Ayari, maybe a chance. It was misread by Robertson. Robertson able, headed back though to Jakupovic. Giveaway here by Chattanooga. Sullivan. Zimmermansik looks to tee it up. Slipped it actually to Sullivan. Too heavy of a touch though. This portion of the match is powered by EPB. Game of the season for both these sides. This is sent all the way down, headed backwards by Stojadinovic. Chipped up. Zimmermansik. Up next for Toronto Friday, they will host Atlanta United at 7 p.m. Eastern. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, Saturday, they'll be on the road at Orlando City B. That game will kick at 7 p.m. Eastern. Stefanovic dispossessed the ball. Ortiz gives it right back to Fisher. Danza trying to elude traffic. Zimmermansik wins the ball for Toronto. Zimmermansik 3-on-3 opportunity. Ayari cuts it back. Zimmermansik with the left and blasts it over and up onto the hill. Ayari, when he cut that ball across, deflected off Robertson right into the pathway. Zimmermansik. Ayari trying to bring it to his left foot. Ayari off the crossbar and in! And Toronto takes the lead! And for the second time in the last week, Ayari and company have come from behind to gain the lead on the road as Ayari makes it 2-1. Great job bringing it to his left foot, hits off the hands of Jakupovic, off the crossbar and down. Ayari's 6th goal of the season for Toronto. Scored just a couple of weeks ago against Red Bulls 2. Assisted on the game-winning goal last week for Edwards. And now might have a game-winning goal here tonight against Chattanooga. Can't count this Toronto team out. Finding different ways to be effective. Not the best play in the first 45 minutes, but here a much different looking team in the second half. A more aggressive team, and when they are aggressive, they look more in control in games when they are much more a little bit passive, trying to possess the ball and play and rely on their defense. Edwards down the line. Chattanooga now playing with more urgency. A little bit more than 15 minutes remains. Couple subs about to come on as well for Chattanooga FC, trying to be game changers. Sarsar. Robertson trying to lose the pressure there at McDonald. Rempel goes backwards. Watson, Rempel, Garvanyan, dispossessed of the ball. Here's Jamari Nolan, scored the lone goal for Toronto last time these two teams met, and Kohler commits a professional foul, and he'll go into the books. Jamari Nolan ahead of the pack, nothing Kohler could do about that, but grab out and get a handful of jersey. Smart foul by Kohler. Sarsar is back. Kohler doesn't commit that. That could be a chance for a 3-on-1 opportunity for Toronto. Also getting back to defend was Rempel for Chattanooga. And now Amzian Simohand on for Jalen James. And Stevie Louis-Jean will come on for Nick Mendonça. Sean on, as well as Sid Mohan. Chattanooga currently winless in their last 8 games. They scored the opening goal in the 45th minute. I could have had a couple other goals there in that first half. Unable to get multiple goals. Toronto, a much different looking side here in the second half. Simmermancic scoring in the 49th minute, and then Ayari in the 73rd. He has possessions, he plays it back beyond midfield. This ball dispossessed by Robertson, plays it up the field. Mohan loses possession. Ayari. How about this ball for Edwards? Jakupovic, well read. High leg there by Sid Mohan. They're actually going to call a foul here against Sid Mohan. Ayari looks to be all right. It's just going to be a warning right now, it looks like. No yellow. Dangerous play there by Sid Mohan. Lucky he didn't go into the books. Ball forward there for Edwards. Well read by Jakupovic. You see that high leg at the very end. And now we'll have another sub, this time for Toronto. Costa Iliadis will come onto the field. number right. The number they had on the board was 17. They just had it backwards, so coming off the field would be Simmermansik, the first goal scorer. Patrick Dahl now will take the free kick for Toronto. To the top, Olgwin. Bouchon, Robertson. Struggles for Chattanooga, continuing winless in their last 8 games. They haven't won since the end of May. Chance here, though, still to level things up. This ball swooped in. Robertson. Sid Mohan. Chance here for Ortiz, but a slow roller and a tame shot. On this game, Chattanooga FC getting good looks, but not really challenging Di Rosario enough. A lot of them, he's just had to square up onto the ball and scoop up the ball or take it off one hop. Doing a good job positioning himself to win the ball, but we do have a player down behind Jamari Nolan. 15-year-old grabbing his head at the moment. First season with the club. Comes from Mount Pleasant in Jamaica to Toronto, as there you see Kohler in the backside of the head of Nolan. Nothing malicious there from Kohler, clearly playing the ball. Is the follow through. Instructions here from Toronto's coaching staff to some of the players grabbing some water. Toronto FC a win tonight, and they would move up to 7th in the standings. They would leapfrog over Orlando City, Crown Legacy, and FC Cincinnati. Edwards doing a good job playing this ball to Ayari. Ayari getting to his left, just off the fingertips of Jakupovic. But how about that? Nathaniel Edwards last week in the game-winning goal, assisted by Hassan Ayari. Maybe this week it's going to be Nathaniel Edwards getting the game-winning assist, assisting it to Hassan Ayari. Leading the team in scoring with 6 goals on the season now. For Edwards, that was his 2nd assist of the year. I'll have a couple subs come on as well for Toronto. Timothy Fortier will be one of those subs, as he'll replace Lucas Olgwin. Also about to check on will be Josh Nugent. Josh Nugent also very influential in that game-winning goal last week, really with the hockey assist. So Jamari Nolan able to come off under his own power as he limps away. Josh Nugent will come on for Nolan. Nugent on for Nolan. And 48 will come on for Olgwin. Off goes Olgwin. Solid job in the midfield here tonight for Toronto. So 4 subs now in total for Toronto. Meanwhile, Chattanooga's used all 5 of theirs. Here's Louis Jean, he'll give it up for Banyan. Sarsar, the captain. Robertson with the assist on the Nagelstedt goal. Now 8 assists on the year. Tied for the league lead with Claudio Casano of Chicago Fire. Garbanyan. We're going to go over the top on a Rimpel. Stefanovic, slow roller. Sid Bohan nearly got to the ball. Scoreline is to hold for Toronto and be their 8th win of the season. It'd be their 5th road win of the year as well. They have more road wins this season than they do home wins. Trying to change that at York Lions Stadium where they host Atlanta on Friday. That game will kick at 7 p.m. Eastern. Nugent. Edwards bring it to his left. Edwards shot off target, slicing. So Anthony Bossenberry also in for Hassan Ayari. Go back to last week against Columbus. He was really the reason for the own goal. He had a shot that hit off the crossbar and then hit off Rogers of Columbus to go through for the opening goal for Toronto. Now a foul here against Toronto, and this is going to be a set-piece opportunity, a very dangerous position as Reed Fisher will now go into the books. Opportunity here for Robertson and company to level things up in the 87th minute. Toronto has never won against Chattanooga FC. Looking to change that here on the road. There you can see Reed Fisher getting the chest with both arms and then tugging on the jersey of Anslin as he tried to escape. He doesn't wrap his arms around in a bear hug. It's probably going to be clean. Robertson to the 6-yard box. Fisher heads it away. The man that got the yellow card does a good job clearing the ball out. Nugent, Sid Mohan on his hip. Ortiz inside, Rimpel. Garbanyan. Robertson. Louis Jean. In the channel, Sid Mohan going at Edwards. Mohan to his right, trying to cross the ball. Good defending there by Edwards. And Edwards got kicked in the stomach by Mohan. Edwards, the player down. Sid Mohan earlier here after he subbed on had a high boot to the head as well. This right now is what a referee, Bowen Taylor, saying, hey, I warned you earlier. You got another one high up in the midsection of Edwards, and that is why you're going into the books. Great job there by Bowen Taylor, explaining exactly what happened. You can see him pointing down at the other end of the field saying, hey, that was the first time. This is the second time. I have to book you. Bowen Taylor has done a great job in the midfield here tonight. Our head referee. Our officials are graded throughout each game. So take a look back there at Edwards getting the worst of this. Good battle here between Sid Mohan and Edwards, and there you see it. It's the left leg right into the rib cage of Edwards. Kohler, big booming ball. Anselin. Fisher this time wins the battle. Force Chattanooga backwards. Sid Mohan, our fifth player to go in the books this evening. Louis Jean. Ovanyan. Looping ball for Anselin. Repel. Avoiding Iliadis. Watson. Robertson plays in the ball. Looping ball up by Ortiz. And Adis Di Rosario had to grab that ball at the crossbar. That one nearly chipped over the goalkeeper of Toronto. 8 minutes of stoppage time added on here into the second half. Plenty of time here for Chattanooga to work with. Toronto, we know how strong they are defending. If they can get a goal, that will put this game away. Poor clearance on the pass back by Chattanooga. And now an opportunity here on the corner for the visitors. Games in total tonight. One has come to a close with Huntsville getting a win on the road over Crown Legacy by a score of 4-0. Carolina Core revs to that one, currently scores. Minnesota United hosting Dynamo Dos, as Toronto just simply will use the corner flag to try to build more time. Dynamo Dos currently up 2-1 on the road. In North Texas and Rapids 2, that one just kicked. 7 games in total tomorrow here in MLS Next Pro. A win though for Toronto, they will move up to 7th in the standings. Top 8 teams make the playoffs. Top 4 teams will host a playoff game. Right now, Chattanooga FC currently 5th in the standings. So as of right now, they would be on the road. Watson, diagonal ball, brought down by Sid Mohan, out for Rempel. Rempel cuts it across, Sorcerer heads it backwards, right to Watson though. Robertson. Robertson just heavy of a touch, allowing Bostonberry to get to the ball for Toronto. Throw by McDonald. Nugent going into the back of Kohler, and that will be a whistle. Sid Mohan for the captain. Sarsar. Robertson. Numbers up here for Chattanooga. Pass touch by 48, one of the subs here for Toronto. Throw working out as a set piece here for Chattanooga now. Watson sends it in. Ushan, well off target. Ushan would have been better sending that into the mixer than taking the shot from long range. Had numbers at the top of the 6-yard box. Idolo will come in and he'll replace Nathaniel Edwards. Idolo, a center back. So clear defensive purposes here, right here, as Toronto looks to close out the game. Trying to fortify that back line and come out with back-to-back victories. Win at Columbus snapped a 4-game winless streak for Toronto. And now they have a chance to win back-to-back games for the first time since the end of June, when they defeated Inter Miami and then Orlando City B. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, they would be winless in their last 9 games. A team that was the best of the best for the early weeks near the start of the season. Needs to find a way to get back to that strong form that we saw in the first 10 weeks. Watson. Not on the same page there as Darwin Ortiz, and a goal kick here for Disa Di Rosario. Just under 2 minutes of stoppage time remains. Throw in by Rimpel for Sid Mohan. Fisher there defending. Stojadinovic. Foul behind the play called against Chattanooga. Toronto will take a little bit more time off the clock. Rosario will send it into the Chattanooga Knights. Ushan. We're going to switch sides. Sid Mohan heads it down for Sarsar. Rimpel. Back to his right. Rimpel trying to squeeze by 2 defenders. As this ball finds its way over the end line, Rimpel might try to do a little too much. Two goals here in the second half for Toronto, their second straight comeback win from behind as Adisa Rosario sends the ball away. And there is the final whistle, and Toronto will have their 8th win of the season, and for the first time ever, they get a win against Chattanooga FC. Marcus Zimmermansik scoring in the 49th minute, Hassan Ayari in the 73rd minute to help propel Toronto to another come-from-behind win. First back-to-back wins since the end of June. And our man of the match tonight is the man with the game-winning goal, Hassan Ayari here. Nathaniel Edwards doing a great job avoiding trouble. Gets the ball to Ayari. Ayari, no doubt about it, clips the fingertips of Jakupovic off the crossbar and down for the game-winning goal as Toronto goes on the road and gets their 5th win of the season for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew. I'm Josh Toll. Once again, our final score is Chattanooga 1, Toronto FC 2. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Thank you and good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.